everybody, how's it going? This is Danny, the Wicked Awesome Gardener, and today I am here with the winners of the Tomato Madness Sauce Tomato Round. So these are official, the final four that are going into the Cannon Garden. Now, I'm a little disappointed because there were two in here that did not make it that I was actually kind of pulling for. There is space for 10 plants in the Cannon Garden, so 2 of each of these winners will go into the Cannon Garden, and then I get to pick 1 for those final 2 plants. So I don't know which one of the losers to pick, but oh, you know what? Here's an idea. I'll grow 1 of each. Ha 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 ha. Loophole. Okay, so let's get to the winners. So in the first bracket, San Marzano versus a Polka, it was a very tight race. It was going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. But ultimately, the winner by 2 votes is the old standard San Marzano. That was really the only contest of these brackets because the other 3 were runaway winners. So in Japanese Black Trifle versus Constelluto Genovese, sadly for me, Japanese Black Trifle. Whoop. And so it's going to be Constelluto Genovese. When it comes to Pink Oxheart versus Hungarian Heart, I could have gone with either of these, honestly. I was kind of hoping for the Pink Oxheart, but it's, all right. Hungarian Heart. Now that I'm thinking about it, maybe I'm not that disappointed to be missing out on Pink Oxheart this year. I can try it next year. Maybe I'll throw Amish Paste in or Jersey Devil. I don't know. I think I'm definitely going to grow at least 1 Japanese Black Trifle, and then I will pick something else as plant number 10. And the final bracket was no contest whatsoever. I actually thought it was going to be unanimous until at the last moment, Ragnarok Prepper decided to vote for Striped Roma. But the outstanding winner, maybe a sign of the times, maybe it's just a cool tomato, Ukrainian Purple. Ukrainian Purple is pretty cool, and I think that had it not won, it would have been the 10th choice along with Japanese Black Trifle for like the extra plants that I get to grow. Okay, so now we have our winners. We have San Marzano, Constelluto Genovese, Hungarian Heart, and Ukrainian Purple. And I think for my picks for plant 9 and 10, it's probably going to be Japanese Black Trifle and either Pink Oxheart or maybe Amish Paste. That's kind of up in the air for plant number 10, but definitely a Japanese Black Trifle. But now is the part that I have been waiting for months, and I kid you not, months. I mean, how long have I been talking about this? Now it's time to do the voting on the slicer brackets. This is the big boys, and I'm talking the big boys. There's a couple of tomatoes in here that are going to be upwards of 2 pounds or more. But let's get to our first round. There are so many tomatoes. I've got to go give them a quick count up so that I know how many slicing varieties that I have. But I'm pretty sure it's upwards of 40 at this point. So I think we're going to have to do 2 slicing brackets and maybe a third. I'm not really sure. So let's go. I'm going to count them up and then I'm going to give you my first set of 16. Okay. So something strange has happened, and I'm actually missing 4 or 5 seed packets because I know that when I was out at Home Depot a couple of months ago, I mean, it's in the, I think, a January seed haul, I picked up some Black Crim and Red Brandywine and I think Delicious, a couple others, and they have disappeared. So I don't know what happened to them. I know that I did a seed haul and I put them immediately into my seed storage and they're just not there. Missing those actually isn't the worst thing in the world right now because without them, it means that I actually have exactly 32 varieties of tomatoes to use in the brackets. So that is 2 full brackets, and I'm sure I'll find them at some point later and they'll go into, I don't know, maybe I'll pick one of them to be my extra picks that go in the garden. But we're going to take 16 for this bracket, 16 for the next. We're going to narrow it down to 8 overall. And that's going to be pretty difficult because there's a lot of really cool stuff here. Now, I don't need to tell you how excited I am to start the slicing brackets because like I said, I've been looking forward to it for months. I've been talking it up on my channel. So I'm hoping you all vote and try to make this decision a little easier for me. So here we go, our first bracket. And we are going with the Rose tomato from M.I. Gardner. This is an heirloom variety, but it was created from a cross with the pink Brandywine and the Rutgers tomato. The Rutgers tomato has a tougher skin, so these are less prone to cracking than the pink Brandywine. And those are going to be up against Sugar Pud. Now, I don't have a seed packet for these. I won these from Joe over at Garden State Gardener, and you should go check him out because you can win seeds like these. Sugar Pud is, I just looked this up for the first time now since I'm putting it in the brackets. It's a Ukrainian mid-season determinate tomato, and they grow a bit over a pound, and so those would be interesting to see. I also love Rose. Help me decide. Next up, I've decided to do the Battle of the Black Tomatoes. We have the Black Beauty and the True Black Brandywine. I've grown Black Beauty. It was delicious. I really liked it. The True Black Brandywine looks awesome. I love Brandywine tomatoes. Now, I decided to pair these together in a bracket because whereas I'm only going to have 10 plants, I'm going to have 8 that you choose, 2 that I choose, and I have such a variety of sizes and shapes and colors, and I don't want to just overwhelm and end up with 2 or even 3 black tomatoes because there are other black or purple tomatoes in the bracket. So I figured I would narrow down to 1 early and go from there. That way we're going to ensure that there's a nice variety out there in the garden. Next up, we have Early Girl versus Cherokee Purple. Now, these are seeds I saved from my Cherokee Purple last year. It was really good. I had never had Cherokee Purple before, and it was definitely one of my favorites. But Early Girl just comes in so fast. It's one of those great standards. So either one of these is going to be a good choice. Now, this next bracket is also going to include one that I won from Joe at Garden State Gardener. Actually, I also won the True Black Brandywine from Joe. See, you really need to go follow his channel. You can win a lot of really cool seeds. You're supporting a great guy, a great family, a great channel. So definitely go on, check him out. I'll put a link down in the description, actually. So this is going to be Dora Pink, and I actually forgot to look these up beforehand, so grab bag versus Gold Medal. Now, I had Gold Medal in my garden last year. I picked it up as a start from a local nursery, and it was probably one of the best tasting tomatoes I have ever had. So we'll see. We're going to go grab bag, tried and true. Then we have Great White versus Ananas Noir, which maybe it's black pineapple and they're just calling it this to make it sound fancy. I don't know. But that's what it translates to, is black pineapple. All I know is that I saw this on a different company's website than Baker Creek. They had totally photoshopped it and made it look like super, super colorful with like greens and reds and oranges all swirling through. And Baker Creek was a little more honest in their representation. So again, Baker Creek, great company, great variety. Check them out. M.I. Gardner, which is where I got a lot of these seeds. This is where I got the Great White from. I grew Great White last year. It was delicious. Ananas Noir seems really cool. So, da-da-da. This is a hard choice for me, so I'm glad you guys are going to make it instead. So we have Solar Flare, another one that I got from Baker Creek. Like, look at those stripes. It's just so, so cool. Versus one I don't have the seed packet in hand for. My friend Kristen has them, the one who is hosting the Canning Garden. So I'm going to be picking those up from her later this week. But that is Chocolate Stripes. Like, I had to put 2 striped ones together because I have a lot of stripy tomatoes. We got to start narrowing them down. I saved a few for the next bracket as well. But these are just 2 really cool looking tomatoes. And I don't know which to pick, so. Then we have tried and true beefsteak. Just your generic, big, red, meaty tomato. Versus German Johnson. German Johnson was also a first-time grow for me last year. I did bag and save the seed, so they were both just big, meaty red tomatoes, and they were delicious. So there's your pick. Beefsteak, German Johnson. And the last one, another one that Kristen has the seed pack for, but Silvery Fir Tree, which was another M.I. Gardner buy, versus Get Stuffed. So either of these is going to be pretty cool, but this Get Stuffed is just awesome looking. So it grows kind of like a pepper, where you know, the seeds kind of congregate in the center and leave these open pockets. So you can take this tomato, pull out the center. It's almost kind of like a little gelatinous strawberry. Pull that center out, and then you can stuff them. It makes it really easy to make cool things. I've been contemplating making tomato tacos. Now, here's my interesting dilemma. We're getting down to tomato planting time. Like, it's between now and like the end of March. And if we're doing this the same way I did the other brackets, we're going to run into the middle of April before I get these tomatoes started. And that just can't happen. Our last frost date is around May 3rd. I never put my tomatoes out or anything frost tender until after Mother's Day, just in case. I've been burned too many times by early May snows. But I do have to get these tomatoes planted. So I think what I'm going to have to do is do this in lightning rounds. I'm going to post this video today. It is Sunday. Voting is going to end Wednesday. I'm going to film, put it out Thursday morning, and then on Sunday, we're going to come back and we're going to be voting on round 3. So by Wednesday, we'll have the winners. We'll start the next bracket, and we'll have this all wrapped up within 2 weeks. I'll have all my tomatoes, and then I can get planting. I think that should work because voting tends to fall off by Wednesday anyway. So after 2 or 3 days, people aren't really voting, and I'm calling for like last calls. So I think we'll just do 3 days, a winners, next round, 3 days, winners, next round, 3 days, new brackets, and you know, just continue like that. So I'm excited. You excited? I'm excited. You excited? I'm so excited. I'm so excited, and I just can't hide it. And I know, I love tomatoes. I don't know, that was so weird. You know me, little pops of singing here and there that just come in randomly. So anyway, go ahead, vote in the comments. There's a pinned comment with all the information. There's a link to Garden State Gardener's channel in my description. All right, guys, I will see you in my next video where I think we're going to be talking about the grow lights that I bought, or depending on the order I upload them, it might also be 6 seed starting hacks to completely ignore. Yeah, oh God, guys, ugh. Some of those things you see online, just don't trust them. So I'll see you guys in those videos when we're growing wicked awesome food from yard to table. Bye-bye.